Can't do it like me, no you're not like me, often imitated. This is USB. Can't do it like me, no you're not like me, never duplicated. This is USB. Often imitated. USB. Never duplicated. USB. Often imitated. Can't do it like me, never duplicated. This is USB. Can't do it like me, no you're not like me, often imitated. This is USB. Can't do it like me, no you're not like me, never.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is USB, Unaffiliated Sports Broadcast, joined with Justin Pullman here and
What's up,
myself,
guys?
Chris. We're going to go over the opening night games, recaps a little bit of the stuff that we saw. I know JP's got a ton of notes from the stuff that he took all day, and I was able to make it to the Tooele Grantsville game, so that was a great time. But we want your feedback. We want your input, so definitely feel free to hit us up in the chat. What you got, man? What you got?
So, I know we can kind of go with however we want, whether we want to start with Mayon.
Yeah, you're good, man.
Cool.
It was me.
We're good. So I'll we can start kind of if we want to go maybe with the Stansbury girls. We can talk about that for just a sec, just in a sense of brand new Coach Whitney Cruz on the road, first game of the year, long bus ride, playing against a pretty solid North San Pete team. Pretty disappointing night for the first game as they lost 62-30. You look at, you had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different contributors scoring wise. So like that's a positive to take away from this game is that you had 8 girls get on the board for you. But like we talked about earlier, we didn't have anybody in double digits. So we're going to need to find out whether it's Kate Lambert, Emery Lufkin, or even Tabitha Park, maybe even Kayla Lorchner, of who's going to be our go-to girl to try and get some points when needed. And it looked like Kate Lambert was the leading scorer with 7 points. But I think Stansbury is going to need to identify who needs to get the ball in the bucket for them, and they're going to need to rely on that girl a little bit down the stretch.
Yeah, no, for sure. I caught the first half of that game. I do feel like I do feel like their defense improved a little bit in the second quarter in particular. But no, it was definitely a rough showing for them. So yeah, I think there's a lot for Coach Cruz to kind of work through and figure out. I mean, it looked like a tempo problem in my opinion. They just got kind of outran. So I'm sure that's something she's going to identify. And it's first year for her, so she's got her own struggles she's going to be working through in small things that maybe, so.
For sure. And I think she's going to be a great coach. She's going to do great things. Year one is always kind of find out how things are rolling with the program. And I have nothing but confidence in Coach Cruz. She's a friend of mine. I just see the way she interacts with the girls, the way she interacts with even, just her coworkers and students as a teacher. And I think that there'll be nothing but good things to come for her and in her program moving forward. So.
No, for sure. I try not to judge right out the gate anyways, you know what I mean? I think there's a lot of great intentions that sometimes you kind of just like, oh, maybe that's not going to work, right? And so yeah, I definitely try not to judge on that at all. All right, so who we got next? That wraps up the Stansbury one. Again, they would lose on the road out there in North San Pete 62-30. So tough game for those ladies. Who we got next?
I have up a fun note. Deseret Peak's first girls basketball game gets a W against Taylorsville at home. I mean, nothing much better than starting your program out with a win, especially at home against a 5A school. Amity Osborne had 12 points. Taylor Fawson had 9 points with a 3. Eliana DeGraw had 8 points. Naomi Jones had 6. Veoa Fanua had 5 points. I probably said your name wrong. Sorry. But Eliana Jorgensen with 3 and Kimber Spencer contributed with a bucket as well too. When you're 11-9 at the end of one, right? And then you're losing at halftime, and then come out in the third quarter and win it 21-9, and then shut them out 7-zip in the fourth quarter. That shows some pretty good resiliency for a brand new program. We talked about their coach coming over from Bingham and having a really good idea of what he's done to have some success, and it looks like it's rolling over to the first game of the year. I know Taylorsville's not the strongest women's basketball program, but to outscore a team 28-9 in the second half after losing at halftime is pretty impressive. So I think that there's going to be a lot of upside for this Deseret Peak girls basketball team, and I'm excited to see what they do moving forward.
Yeah, no, definitely a promising start. I mean, the 21-point third quarter, that's coming out of halftime. Obviously, they made the right adjustments there, so awesome job there. Couple names I'm familiar with there. Nehemiah Jones. I don't know if I said the whole first name correctly. Familiar with her. Taylor Fawson, obviously 9 points for that young lady. 1 3-pointer. Jones had 6 points, 1 3-pointer. Definitely familiar with them. The other names are a little bit new to me, so definitely excited to get to see what they do. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a solid win because Taylorsville did pretty good last year. If I remember right from the pregame notes I was doing, they went like 11-10 or something like that. So
Okay.
they definitely had a pretty good season last year. So I think that's a solid for our Deseret Peak ladies for sure. So shout out to them and congratulations.
I think one thing as well too is we have to credit the coaching because of the third quarter adjustments, but also you have to credit the resilience of those girls. Like you're losing going into the third quarter. Any basketball player talks about the first 2 minutes of the third quarter and how important that is, and they dominated those first 2 minutes and then ended up making a 21-9 run in that third quarter. And so shout out to the girls for being resilient, and then also shout out to the new coach and coaching staff for making some really good third quarter, fourth quarter adjustments.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm glad that was my wild card pick,
Yeah, for sure. That was a good pick, and I apologize, ladies. I not that I didn't have any faith in you. It's just the first year program, man. I'm glad that you shocked us all.
Yeah, for sure. It's easy to get trapped in that. It really is, and I'm super proud of them. That's awesome. So congratulations to the Deseret Peak Golden Eagles winning their first program win, their first game of the season. A lot of firsts for everything's going to be happening for them this year. So their first leading scorer right now, right? Oh man, I'm going to butcher that. 44. Oh wait, no, that's wrong one. Sorry, 23. Amity Osborne with 12. She's the first leading scorer. So congratulations to them. They win it 45-31 at home in front of their own fans. That's really awesome. So congratulations, ladies. Who we got next?
So now we can move over to the men's side of things for Deseret Peak. Deseret Peak had to travel to play Providence Hall on the road. These next few games I'm going to talk about are some games that I had up. I had a lot of screens going, so I tried to watch all of them that I could. But I mean, when you got 5 different games up, you're kind of getting fairly distracted. But good friends with Coach Detweiler and Coach Mehmet over at Deseret Peak. Coached a handful of those boys. So they lost 50-38. They kept it really close in the first half, but that fourth quarter getting outscored by 5 and the third quarter getting outscored by 2, it adds up. They're outscored by 2 in the first, outscored by 3 in the second, outscored by 2 in the third, and then outscored by 5 in the fourth. So they lose by 12. It looks like it was a pretty dominant victory for Providence Hall, but when you look at it in the box score, you realize that it was actually pretty close each quarter, but Providence Hall was able to make those extra buckets. Davis Hodge had 22 points. You score over 20 points as a sophomore in your first varsity game. That's pretty impressive. Zach Brimley had 10 points, and he knocked down 2 threes. Dorian Rodriguez with 4 points and a 3, and Eli Overman contributed a bucket. Those are the only scores. That's where I think a little bit of our problem lies, is the fact that there's only 4 people that contributed scoring wise. You got Junior Halu and Gray Brimley that also contributed to the game, but not on the scoring sheet. I watched Junior Halu. I mean, he's a good athlete. This kid could play Division I football as a cornerback. There's no secret to this kid being a good athlete. He got to the rim with ease 3 or 4 times, but he also missed those layups. I think that's something that Deseret Peak can really improve on is when they get those paint touches that they got so well, get to 2 feet and really be on balance to where you can kick out for a shot or you can go up strong. I think Zach Brimley needs some more touches. I think every time he got the ball, he did a really good job of finishing around the rim. We don't have any field goal percentages, but I would assume Zach shot the ball fairly well. Obviously 2 threes, but when I observed practice at Deseret Peak, I think Zach did a really good job of finishing around the hoop and finishing with A, contact, and B, with just bigger bodies around him. I'd like to see Zach get the ball more often. And as much as Davis is, demanding attention from defenders with 22 points, I think he can do a better job of distributing the ball to his teammates for wide open threes. But other than that, it's, you get outscored 20-13 when it comes to field goals made. When a team makes 7 more field goals than you, you're going to struggle. And when you only shoot 50% from the free throw line, that's also not going to add up as well too. Getting to the line 12 times is really good, but only knocking down 6 of those is really gonna hurt you. So that's kind of what I noticed when it came to Deseret Peak. But the thing that stuck out to me the most is no matter what the score was, no matter what the situation was, ball on the floor, you'd see 3 Golden Eagles on the floor, right? When there was a ball going up, kids were flying for the ball. Coach Detweiler's got those kids playing hard. Now they just need to get dialed in with a couple things. And I think that they'll start to see a little bit more success as the season moves forward.
Yeah, no, for sure. I tried to watch as much as I could. I was at work earlier, so it was like kind of in and out. But yeah, no, Davis Hodge, he's a heck of a baller. He's a heck of a baller for sure. Yeah, that kid's going to be pretty good for that team, I think. Even when they get, maybe players that they're waiting on, right? I think he's still going to be a heck of a player for that team. He's got some pretty good size to him. It looked like, at least on the live stream. And he can move the ball. He's pretty good. Definitely keep an eye on that young man. I've been kind of paying attention to Dorian Rodriguez a little bit. I haven't seen a whole lot of him, but I have seen a little bit from him. So definitely excited for that young man as well. We'll see how he ends up doing. But 4 points, one of the 4 scores, so can't knock him there. So super excited for that kid. Yeah, no, it definitely just looked like a mixture of still trying to figure out how to play with each other, and maybe just some first game quirks. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I think that was probably a really good matchup for them because it wasn't too over the top, and they were able to kind of work through that a little bit, I think. So yeah, it sucks that they lost, but kind of like to your point, right? I mean, if you look at the box score, they lost, but it wasn't as bad as it looks if you just look at the final.
Right.
So yeah, no, absolutely.
And to be honest, you get your 50% kids back. You get the Arnold brothers, and you get your bigs, Maddox and Chris. But then you also get a dead-eye shooter in Braxton Polson. That team not only wins this game against Providence Hall, but I'd put my money on they dominate this Providence Hall team with that size and that shooting ability that they would have.
Yeah.
So as much as it stinks to not have those kids, Davis, Zach, Dorian, Eli, Brex, Gray, some of you junior, some of you guys that got some minutes, just continue to keep your head up and keep building some things that'll help once you get your full team back. So good luck to you guys for the rest of the season.
Absolutely. So Deseret Peak men's, they lose their first season opener on the road out there at Providence Hall, with a score of 50-38. Heads up, gentlemen, keep grinding. Saw some pretty good things I think you guys can build on there. So good luck, and looking forward to your next matchup.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going now? What you want to talk
about
now?
Let's go. I think let's talk about Tooele Granger, and then let's end on the inter-county matchup so we can shed some light on that.
All right, I like it.
We'll talk about Tooele and Granger, man. Granger has a really good player, and I don't remember his first name, but his last name is Turk Sanks or something like that. Anyways, the kid had 26 points and 4 threes. The kid could ball. But when you have 7 contributors with this Tooele basketball team, they're going to be hard to beat. I think a lot of the issues, as me being their coach in the summer, was sometimes there was only 2 or 3 contributors on the offensive side. And to see 7 guys come up on that box score was really exciting to see because Mason Heap's going to get his, right? 6 threes, 22 points. He's going to score. Doesn't matter who they're playing. Mason Heap's going to get his. Christian Rogers started out really slow, and he ended up knocking down 3 threes and adding 16 points. But the X factor scoring-wise was Gus Pater with 11 points. If Gus can average double-digit points moving forward, he's going to contribute defensively. He's going to contribute on the boards. He's going to contribute on block shots. But if he can contribute over 10 points a game, good luck beating this Tooele basketball team. Luke Hogan had 5 points. Brock Russell had 4. Braxton Smith had 2. And Connor Mather had 2. Connor Mather, someone we didn't talk about in our pregame or our preseason basketball talk. That kid was flying around. Without Connor Mathers, that Tooele is not winning this game. He only had 2 points on the scoreboard. You see this kid's defense. You see this kid's hustle, his energy. I mean, he ignited Tooele. There was a stint in the second quarter where Tooele was really sluggish. They were turning the ball over. They weren't doing well. Connor Mather laying out for a ball on the floor. Connor Mather going after other loose balls, getting rebounds. I think that started to spark some energy in these kids, and it started to follow. Christian Rogers started out really sluggish, and I think he if he buys in energy wise, he can play with anybody in the state, right? If he comes out sluggish, it's going to hurt this Tooele basketball team, and I really do think that some of that Connor Mathers energy rubbed off on Christian, and the whole rest of the team got going, and they were going to be unstoppable as a team, hitting 9 threes and outscoring the Granger Lancers 62-56.
Yeah, no, I didn't get to see the entirety of that game. I did only get to see a little bit of it, but one thing I did know is kind of what you had brought up in the pregame stuff. The difference in the size between the growth between Christian Rogers and even Gus Pater. They looked to have some really good size heading into this. I mean, there was a point I remember looking at the screen while I was at work, and I was like, man, like these can't be the same kids that played last year. Like, yeah, no, I think they get that. They're gonna have some serious rebounding ability for sure. I think they get that honed in because yeah, no, it looks pretty good. And of course, like you said, Mason's going to get his almost exclusively from the 3-point line. 18 of his 22 came from the 3-point line. So, and I'm guessing the other ones were probably fouls. I didn't see the whole game, but I'm going to just go out on a limb.
Well, that's where I'll get a little critical. I mean, these are my boys. I've coached these guys for a while, so I know that if they're listening, they can take this pretty well. But I think Mason needs to do a better job of still passing up good shots to get a great shot. I mean, you give the kid an inch of space, he'll drain one right in your eye. However,
Sure.
I think that there were a couple shots he took that were very forced. And granted, he made a couple of them. Like, right, I think he had 2 threes where he just had a split second trigger and he put one in one guy's eye. But he also had 3 or 4 threes that are just as good as a turnover if you shoot it that quick. And also, he did a really good job of splitting his defenders. But I think when he splits his defenders, he needs to have a plan. And it's really hard to make a plan when you're driving to the basket with 3 guys sticking their arms in to try and get the ball. So if you're going to have a plan, just have a plan to get to 2 feet. If he can get to 2 feet, he can finish through contact, but he can also kick it out to these shooters. And the same with Christian, man. Christian Rogers can go play college basketball if he wants to, but he's got to get physical. I would love to see Christian knock a guy on his butt to go get a rebound. I'd love to see Christian put his back to the basket and finish through contact. He's a great shooter. He's a great finisher. He's got great finesse. If he really locks into the weight room and going through a guy, maybe picking up 1 or 2 offensive fouls by doing it, so be it. He needs to be more physical. He needs to have more energy. He needs to lead by example, and a lot of that, it needs to be more vocal with Christian. I think that there'll be a lot of good things that come for them. But where I'm going to be critical of them is getting to 2 feet when you get down to the paint, but also get physical and play hard and finish at the rim. You don't need to rely on threes for all of your scoring.
No, for sure. I mean, that's kind of the tough thing, right? Sometimes you live by the 3, you die by the 3, and that's I've seen that eat up a few teams. No, I could see it for sure. I could see everything that you're talking about. I mean, I kind of said it before this game even started. I think that I thought that Mason Heap's leadership skills were gonna have to shine through because you had a lot of younger players, a lot of because Luke played last year, but he missed a lot from injury, right?
Correct. And he's a great leader. He's a very good leader. Luke is.
Yeah. So I mean, really, the only person on that roster with a ton of playing time last year is Mason, and because Christian was kind of in and out, if I remember correctly. Gus got injured at one of the games too, ankle injury or something like that, underclassmen game, if I remember right.
You can name an injury for almost every one of these kids from last year.
No, and that's what I'm saying. So it's like, he was kind of the only one with a ton of game time exposure. So I'm hoping he's able to kind of to bring that up, and hopefully he does a really good job leading this team because they're going to rely on him, man. And I think to your point, sometimes you got to maybe switch it up just a little bit. But nonetheless, he ends with 22 points and 6 3-pointers. So
Right. That could be
Can't
an
be
off
too
night for
critical.
Mason with over 20 points. The kid is a flamethrower, man. Don't give him an inch of space. I was watching this game and I was thinking, when are they going to box and one Mason? I couldn't believe when they would drop into a zone. And granted, they would favor Mason's side and they would get a hand in his face. But I'm telling you, you give the kid a freaking inch, he's going to wet one
He's
right
gonna
in your
take
eye.
it.
Like you have nothing that you can do about it. He's got the quickest trigger in the state. I'll stand by that. No one has a quicker shot than Mason. But that doesn't mean that it's always a good look. And I always tell him that sometimes he chicken wings it as well too with his shot. If he gets that gooseneck instead of the chicken wing, good luck. Good luck. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest concern for me right now is the 50% at the free throw line. I think they're going to need those heading down the stretch. I think they gotta get that up a little bit. Um, yeah, I think
yeah,
those
this
free
is a
throws
game
are
that
going to be
doesn't
real
need to be
important.
close. You make 9 more. I mean, hell, no one's going to go 100% from the free throw line. But if you can just
No, sure.
be better than 50%, these close games don't need to be close, right? And I know that Luke Hogan and Gus Pater got to the line a lot. Those aren't the guys that are going to contribute by scoring the ball all the time. But getting the free throw line, fellas. Go to practice, run a few laps, go shoot some free throws. We need you at the free throw line.
Yeah, no, I just really think it's going to be valuable for him moving down the stretch. So, but
Absolutely.
nonetheless, Tooele comes out on top in this one on the road against Granger, 62-56, winning their season opener. So good job to them on the start to hopefully changing the story a little bit for them. So good luck moving on from there. I think I had it somewhere. I lost it. I don't know who they play next.
I think they got
I've
Delta at
covered a
home
lot
on
of games.
Friday, right?
Mm, Hopefully it doesn't mess
Delta
it
or
up.
Carbon. It's either Delta or Carbon at home on Friday.
But yeah,
Regardless, it's a
nonetheless,
winnable game.
congratulations on your season opener win, 62-56 there in Granger.
All right. Now I think we kind of get to the main event, right?
Yes, and I've been. This is the game that I was actually at. I didn't get the chance to really see a ton of the other games I was trying, but this one I was there for the entirety, and I got to say, this game panned out. 100%, this game panned out. I mean, all the hype behind it. It was a really good game. Um, I honestly though, I think it showed us more about Tooele than it really did Grantsville, and what I mean by that is clearly Tooele is more conditioned this year. If you look at the game they had last year versus Grantsville, they just got ran out the gym and they weren't able to really get their rhythm going. They're definitely in better condition for that. Camilla Laura definitely has more of an athletic posture to her than I think that she did last year. Um, Kennedy Searles definitely been working, right? She's got a very athletic posture. They moved the ball with a lot better pace and they controlled the ball with a lot better pace. That was probably the biggest thing I took away from it. And the reason I think that it showed us more about Tooele than it did Grantsville is because I think we figured that Grantsville was going to come out with solid defense, right? I mean, historically, that's kind of been their thing, right? And the offense was kind of the only question. And honestly, I think they performed really, really well. I mean, Camry Allen, literally, she looked extremely comfortable in that offensive set, facilitating the ball, moving it around. Emmy Butler with a huge game. I knew she was going to contribute, but I didn't think it was going to be in that way.
Right.
She hit 4 3-pointers in that one. 3 of them came in the second quarter, if I recall correctly. So definitely, definitely a great game. My biggest concern for Tooele right now is the foul trouble. They were midway through the second quarter, and you already had Camilla Laura with 4 fouls and a PC Male, who by the way had a great opening game with her new team. She did fantastic. She's going to be a heck of a rebounder for that team the whole rest of the season. She did a great job there. But nonetheless, they both ended up with 4 fouls early in the second quarter, right? And so that really hurt them. That really hurt them. And then you
It can
got Hallie
happen.
Hogan picking up some fouls. She would actually foul out in the third quarter, right at the end there, and that was detrimental almost because it took Tooele a second to kind of get their offense back in a rhythm after that. You know what I mean? Um, for all intents and purposes, Grantsville kind of had that one in the bag, and I think that's kind of where it might have got them a little bit because they had it in the bag. I mean, everything was pointing to Grantsville was going to win this, and then Macy Gustin, Berkeley McClaws drops a 3-pointer, huge 3-pointer for her
Cold
team, puts them
blooded.
up like yeah, like 53-52 at that point. And then Grantsville kind of, I mean, they were controlled, but they kind of like went into a panic, I think. Um, and I don't know, maybe Tooele just played the best defense of the night, or the refs didn't see something. I don't really know, but nonetheless, they weren't able to draw the foul. And Tooele takes over possession, and then we just play the free throw game from there, right? But
Hmm.
no, that was an either way game, back and forth. Super impressed by both teams, honestly. There was, what was it? How many threes was there? There was like 15 or something like that. 15 made threes.
Yep,
Four,
15
six,
combined.
7. Yeah, 15 combined. I mean, these girls were just, they were shooting threes and they were making them, and it was back and forth. It was absolutely wild. Um, it was a great game. If you missed that one, you really kind of missed out, because it was a great game. We had 4 players foul out. Three. Who was the? I know it was Hazley Hall. Who was the other one? I thought there was, maybe it was only 3. Maybe I wrote it down wrong. But nonetheless, we had several players foul out. Um, a lot of aggression, a lot of emotion. It really was a great game to be at.
So now, as we kind of talk about how this went, um, it's hard for me to not be so critical coming as a coach, right? And like my goal is really just to shed light on what we do really well as a county, and what these girls do and what these guys do. When it comes down to this girls game, there was a couple of things that really stuck out to me. Is I think Tooele had the better team. I think Grantsville had the more disciplined team. I think Grantsville executed better. I think Grantsville was, like I said, more disciplined. I think Tooele just has so much firepower that they can get hot at any time. I mean, they were outscored in the second quarter 20-5. That 20-5
Mhm.
wasn't because Tooele isn't capable of scoring. That was because A, they're in foul trouble, but B, it's because they're taking illicit shots to where they really need to pass up a good shot for a great shot. And Grantsville did a really good job of working within their system, working within their offense, and getting good looks, right? Grantsville did a really good job of passing up good shots to get great shots. And to be honest, Grantsville missed quite a few shots they probably should have made as well, too. A lot of layups at
Mhm.
the end that were contested for sure, and that's not easy, right? But layups that probably should have went. My biggest takeaway from this is Tooele is freaking good, man. Tooele is really good. Tooele has a lot of firepower, and I think that if Tooele can be more disciplined, like fouling out in a high school game is a lot easier to do than it is in an NBA game or a college
Sure.
game for sure, right? But you cannot have 4 fouls before the first half comes to an end. That is just comes
Yeah.
down to not being disciplined. And part of being disciplined is passing up a good shot for a great shot, like I said, but also being not being reckless when you're playing defense, not reaching in, right? Referees, when they look for fouls, they're looking for people coming down, right? As a coach, we like to teach our players to dig, right? Digging is coming up, right? Slapping is coming down. You could even come down right on the ball and you'll get a foul call on you because you're slapping, right? I think Tooele could do a better job of still getting hands in the passing lanes or disrupting ball handlers by digging versus slapping. And if they're disciplined enough to stay out of foul trouble and to pass up those good shots for great shots, I could see this Tooele team making a lot of noise.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with what you're saying there. I mean, because Tooele returned the favor in the third quarter, right? They went 21-7 in the third quarter. So I mean, those two teams kind of traded those quarters out. Um, no, I, I think this game emotionally and mentally meant more to Tooele than it did to Grantsville, right? I think Grantsville came into this one probably just looking to see what they had. Is what we've worked on working. Because again, I think you knew the defense was going to still be solid. They
Right.
didn't generate as many. They didn't generate as many turnovers as they're probably accustomed to. As a fan in Grantsville, right? Um, but they still played solid defense. It was heavily. It was a lot of pressure, right? And Hazley Hall was a big catalyst for that. I know for sure. And I think Emmy Butler was the other
Hmm.
Grantsville player that fouled out there towards the end, if I recall
Oh, okay.
correctly. But and she's battling down low, so I mean it kind of makes sense. They were calling a lot of stuff down low in that game, but I think mentally though this one meant more, and I think that's probably to Willa, and I think that's probably why you saw that foul trouble so early on because I think they wanted it so bad that they were playing a little out of control
For
in
sure.
some regards. I think they were for the most part controlled, but they definitely let that emotion kind of get to them early on, and it kind of put them in a hole for a second.
But I think you also have to, consider that Tooele is going to live or die by their recklessness. Sometimes it's going to work out for them. Like they're so talented and have girls like Kennedy Searle that are in the gym at 5 in the morning in the summer getting shots up. That sometimes when those illicit shots are going up, they're going to go in because of all the reps she's been taking. Right. Sometimes that reckless defense is going to result in steals and fast break buckets. But in that second quarter, it really burned them between fouls and just limiting their good looks at the rim. I mean, being outscored by 15 points, but then coming and returning the favor by outscoring by 14 in the third quarter is impressive. To A, not give up, but B, to really make sure that you're getting good looks at the rim. As I say this, I really have to give a shout out to Emmy Butler, man. That girl is a stud. Emmy Butler has a lot she has to do. She has to rebound. She has to play defense. She has to play defense on the perimeter, but she also has to be able to knock down threes like she did. Emmy did a really good job of being an all-around basketball player and not just one-dimensional. That's where I was really struck by her. Is she's not a one-dimensional athlete. She can do it all, and she's gonna have to step up this year. Last year, she had two girls that are playing college ball right now. And so this year, this is her. This is her team. This is, I think she's going to have to be the leader. And I think something that girls can do better. I coach softball as well too, and just the difference between boys and girls is girls are not as vocal as boys are. And I would like to see some of these Grantsville girls lead by their voice as much as they lead by example on the court. And I think that it was, when a girl gets an and one, go give her a smack and say, great job, right? Like get happy, scream, like get loud, get that gym pumping. And especially with a place like Grantsville where that gym can blow the roof off this, at any given moment, those girls have to contribute to that by getting excited themselves. But aside from that, I also wanted to talk about Kennedy Searle. This is a future college basketball player. I don't know where, I don't know what level she's going to play at, but with the work she puts in, I could very well see her ending up on a Division I roster. A lot of people don't get natural talent. I think she does have that natural talent, but something you can't coach is her work ethic.
Sure.
I mean, we've talked about it. You and I have gone to the gym in the mornings and you're like, oh, there's Kennedy getting shots up. Oh, like she's a gym rat. She loves the game. One of the best players I ever played with was Brandon Sly. He's 5'9". I played with him in college. He's not have God-given talent. He's not the best basketball player. The kid's still playing professional basketball overseas at 30 years old because of his work ethic. And I think basketball is the biggest, catalyst in a work ethic, type sport. And when it comes to seeing girls like Kennedy Searle and Emmy Butler go head to head in an inter-county matchup, first game of the year, that's what it's all about, man.
For sure. One more shout out I got to do because I kind of forgot about it for a second. Allie Bree Rogers from Grantsville. She shot very well from the free throw line. Got to give a shout out to her. That was something that kind of stood out to me. So I want to make sure that we get that out there because, like we talked about in the last game, like that kind of stuff's important, man. Especially down the stretch. I mean, this game literally came down to free throws. They had to foul to stop the clock, and to be fair, Kennedy Searle kind of struggled from inside shots at that point, leading up to that, right? I mean, she was the shots you're accustomed to her putting up, right? The inside takes, they just weren't dropping for her as smoothly as we've kind of seen in the past. And her three-pointers were obviously there. She had 9 off of that, right? But she was struggling a little bit from her inside shots, and to go in there and hit those free throws after that first Grantsville foul to stop the clock, right? That was huge because they were only up by 1 at that point. She doesn't hit that; it's still a close game, right? And then they end up getting the ball back. I think they fouled her again. She hit 2 more, or maybe it was somebody else. But nonetheless, the best free throw shooting that Tooele did was in that last 30 seconds, in my opinion.
Yeah, that is tough, man. I think that's where your mental takes over your skill. I mean, in those situations, right? That's why I love to see Kennedy Searle take free throws in the end too, right? If anybody's put the time in the gym to rely on her, to rely on the reps you've gotten up, that's the girl. And so that was awesome. But also someone like Berkeley McClaws that didn't really contribute scoring wise up until that dagger of a 3 to put her team up by 1. I mean, that's a cold-blooded shot down the stretch in the game and having to take a 3, right? Like, yeah. You're just ready. When your number's called, you're ready.
I think she hit one close to halftime too, if I remember right.
So at that point, she had only had 4 points, right?
Both of them were.
Yeah, if you only have 4 points and then down the stretch you get a pass out. I mean, that's awesome. You're not scared. You're ready to go, and you light that thing up from 3, and bang, dude, blew the roof off, from the Tooele side of things. And, as much as that is a good play, that's just a momentum killer for Grantsville. And I think that's kind of where that, with the combination of Kennedy Sherrill being cold blooded with her free throws down the stretch, that's what's going to do the job for you. And, it's hard for us, right? As we don't have any specific team or school that we like everybody together. It's really awesome to see two intercounty teams go head to head. That's what we want to see, right? Like, we want to see both teams have a good game, both teams go down to the wire and have a game like that. I mean, seriously, what more can you
Yeah.
ask for, right?
No, not a whole lot more, man. I mean, I really feel like that was everything that I was hoping it was going to be. I didn't know who was going to win that one. Um, and really, I don't think you knew who was going to win it until it was over, because they played
Right.
back and forth all night long. So, huge shout out to both those teams. Um, I think Transfield's starting off pretty good. New coach, obviously, over there, Coach Boydston, and I think he's doing a good job, man. And it's going to look a little bit different, and it's probably going to take a second, but I think they started out really strong, all things considered, and
Absolutely.
and I think Tooele plays better if they don't have all the emotion, and maybe it's not as close. But I think that they wanted that so bad that they kind of let that derail them a little bit momentarily. So great game, great all around game. Grantsville Tooele wins this one on the road in Grantsville with a score of 58-52. But seriously, what a game! Congratulations to both those teams, honestly.
Yeah. No, just to update everybody as well too, Stansbury basketball is playing right now, and the girls basketball at Tooele is playing. Stansbury boys were down to start the first quarter, 29. What did I say? 29-15. They gave up 29 points. Anyways, 19 seconds left. Stansbury's up by 3 with the ball. Make that 2 with the ball. So I mean, we have some really fun stuff going on in the county with a lot of these teams, and I'm really excited to see how many wins this county piles up.
So, assuming my live stream is accurate right here, it looks like Tooele is on top right now, 41-37, with a minute 5 remaining in the fourth quarter. So,
Let's go. Good job, Lady Buffs.
congratulations to those girls. Maybe
And
we'll.
we got
I mean,
we got Stansbury shooting 2 free throws right now with 16 seconds up too. I would assume that they lock it down and get the job done.
maybe we'll stick around here. I don't know. I mean, 1 minute in basketball minutes is like 15 though. So,
I know, right? It might be everyone's bedtime by the time this is over. I can say Dallin Jensen's at the line. First free throws up and off the back iron, no good. So Jordan's going to get the ball with a timeout left, 16 seconds, and it's going to be one possession no matter what. Uh, I think, a lot of us are kind of interested to seeing how Stansbury is going to do against a Jordan team without Tegan Johnson and Porter Hinton. Second free throw from Dallin is off the back iron as well, too. Rebound to Jordan. And is there a foul call?
I don't
Yep,
know, because
foul call on Stansbury.
The
Yep.
Tooele ladies just came out of timeout here. Woods Cross has the ball. They're inbounding it in, moving their way down the court.
Jordan at the line for 2 free throws with 13.7 seconds left, down by 2. A catastrophic
Oh,
foul.
looks like number 10 for Woods Cross. She beats the defense on the edge there, gets inside. I think she got an and one, man. Oh, no, maybe not.
First
Nope,
free
out of
throw up and good
bounds.
for Jordan. Stansbury is up by 1 with 13.7 left. Second free throw on the way. You
Hey,
cannot foul in that situation.
but the good
Second
news
free throw
is,
up and good. Tie ball game.
oh, no, just got beat on the inside. Inbound inside pass, 39-41. Tooele is still on top. The good news is that PZ Male and Camilla Laura are both still in the game, so that means that they
That is a
probably cleaned that up.
positive. That is a very big positive, right? Do we know how well Woods Cross is as a team at all? I mean, it's not like we look into Woods Cross women's
Um,
basketball before the year starts.
oh man, yes and no. I don't want to mess up my dang screen, but they did okay last year. But it looked like they lost several of their top 7 from last year. So I think they might be a little bit off, but they look to be okay. I think I don't see Hallie Hogan out there though, so she might have fouled out again.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Stansbury with the ball, sideline out of bounds. 9.2 seconds left. Ball inbounded up top. Ball to Dallin Jensen, pump fake from the wing,
Oh,
driving in.
PC Male,
Euro step misses.
clutch.
Ethan Miller misses the layup at the buzzer. It's going to overtime.
PC Male, clutch with the inside. 43-39, 30 seconds remaining.
What are these referees calling?
Yeah, if Hallie fouled out again though, she's gonna have to get that under control. She is a huge she is a huge factor for that offense, just in ball handling and facilitating. I mean, they were able to get it figured out, but it took them a minute. You know what I mean? It took them a minute in
Yeah.
that Grantsville game, and it was a little rough, man. They're doing okay right now, though. We got another timeout here. Looks like if Woods Cross fouls one more time, they're in the bonus.
What's the score?
43-39, Tooele on top.
Oh, come on, Buffs. You got to hold them off. I know Stansbury just had a catastrophic last 30 seconds. They blew a 4-point lead. Oh, man. But shout out to whoever this kid is from Jordan who just made 2 free throws at the end of the game by being down 2. Now there's actually 9/10 of a second left. Jordan with the ball, baseline out of bounds on the other side of the court. So I know Coach Talon Robertson's probably drawn up a play for the Beat Diggers to try and get a shot up. But I mean, you got to go full court. You have about 0.6 of a second to get a catch and shoot. I don't know what the sports science is on 9/10 of a second from a full court heave. So the ball is inbounded, intercepted by Dallin Jensen, shot at the buzzer, no good. We're going to overtime out in Sandy.
Oh, wow. Way to go.
Which is great
Way
for
to
the
go.
Stallions without their 2 best players to be able to
for
force
sure.
force overtime, but you can't blow a 4-point lead with 30 seconds left. We talk about lack of discipline. Man, a kid gets a rebound with 13 seconds left on the other side of the court up 2. You cannot foul him, right? Both teams are going to be going in on the bonus, right? The fouls do not reset in that last minute or last 5 minutes of overtime. So I would imagine this is going to be the longest 5 minutes ever
41-43 now.
for the Buffs.
Yep. But the Woods Cross fouls. They foul Camilla Laura, looks like, so she'll be going to the line. I'm pretty sure they're in the bonus, so she should be shooting. 14.9 seconds remaining there.
I'm going to get that up on my stream as well, too. You had to log into a Huddle account, right?
I just had to pull it up on the Huddle, yeah. Tooele Huddle. Oh, they must not have called a foul. It must have been a travel or something.
Is that Woods Cross ball then?
Yeah, oh my goodness. Somebody just got laid out from the screen. PZ Male steals the ball, though, so good job to her. Now they foul. Looks like 13 is that Gustin, right? Or is that McClaws?
I think that's Gustin. Let's see here. I'm logging in right now to pull that game up as well, too. Whoever's still with us, thanks for viewing us. Now we're just live commentators at this point, right?
At this point, we're just making sure we see these games out now that we've got it up, you know? Why not? Why not? I mean, might as well. Apparently, this is the clip that's for the socials, according to my number 1 supporter out there.
What?
She says that this is the clip we should use for the socials, apparently. Us going back and forth about these games. So, yeah, here we go. Tooele at the free throw line. She made one, looks like 44-41. Both of them are good. I'm telling you, clutch free throws from this Tooele team late in games. 45-41, 0.4 of a second. Foul is called, I think, or a timeout. Can't really tell. Not sure just yet. Oh, they called a blocking foul on Tooele. So
no way.
Woods Cross will maintain. They're up by 4 with 0.4 of a second. So I think they're good.
Oh, Tooele is?
Yeah. They should win this one out unless something absolutely crazy happens, like a made and one or made 3 and a foul or something. But that's it.
So Jordan
Tooele
and Stansbury have gone back and forth. It's still 59-59. There's 3.5 minutes left. No one's really gotten a good look. I know Stansbury's running their thumb play action, handoff at the top. Dallin Jensen, bang! 3-ball from NBA range. Stansbury up 62-59, 3:20 left as Jordan's going to try and come back and answer. I wish I knew what the foul trouble was. Once you get into overtime,
Mm-hmm.
You never know. I mean, fouls don't reset. You don't get eligible players, but Jordan's just starting to fall apart. They're playing one-on-one basketball. An ISO move by 23, uh, short jumper from the elbow off the front iron, and then rebounded by Cash. Now we got Dallin Jensen at the top that's going between the legs. Pack up top for that thumb action to Cash. Double crossers. He holds and he gets to the elbow. Kicks out. I don't know who this number 5 is with Stansbury. He's a new face to me. Ryder Meyer back up to down. We got 11-10 on the shot clock now with a high ball screen. Dallin Jensen step back 3, missed off the front iron. Cash with the offensive rebound and a foul on number 20 from Jordan. We'll see our boy Cash Bodden, I believe is his last name, getting 2 free throws here. This is fun to see these kids, man. When I coached these kids, they were freshmen that never got, any varsity time. Now we got these kids that are probably playing, 20 plus minutes of varsity minutes, especially with guys that are out. This is fun to watch these guys play. So now we got Stansbury at the free throw line, Cash Bodden, free throw number 1 up and in. We got a 2-possession lead now, but that means nothing when you had 30 seconds left in the game and they blew a 4-point lead. So we still got 2.5 minutes left to play out here in Sandy. Cash, here we going for his second free throw off the front iron and rebounded and now a jump ball by number 5 from Stansbury. What an effort play. I need to find out who this kid is. Do we have a roster for Stansbury? Who is number 5 for Stansbury?
Oh, 1 sec. I got you. Hang on.
This kid is all over the place. He's got a good body on him too. I've never seen this guy. All right, here we go. Jordan's running their weave action that they ran last year as they do away ball screens, weave up top, and now they're going to try and get a high ball entry to this Warnick kid. 3-ball off the back iron, rebound for Ryder Myers, but he throws it back under the hoop for a wide open layup for Warnick and 1. So now we got 61-63 for Jordan at the free throw line.
According to the roster, 5 is Cade Robbins, a junior, 6'3", about 175 pounds.
Well, Ryder's a kid that he's saying my bad right now. Absolutely. You can't try and save a ball down low and throw it under the opponent's basket. You just need to go out with it. So that Caden Warnick, who's their best player for Jordan, he misses the free throw. So 3-point play unsuccessful. Stansbury up 2, ball given to Ethan Miller up top. Ethan's going to take him one-on-one right to the basket and a bucket. Stansbury up 65-61 as we hit the 2-minute mark. Both teams in the bonus. Jordan's going to try and force it. Olay defense from from Ethan Miller and Dallin. We got to play better defense than that. So now it's a 2-point lead for Stansbury. 1:48 left and the ball is thrown away. Jordan ball sideline. These are the times that make boys men. You got to really buckle up and put some hair on your chest and be able to make plays in overtime. So now we're giving the ball back to Jordan. And they're running their thumb action, which from what I believe is going to be a high ball screen, which is going to have 2 shooters on the right side. So you cannot help from the corners, drive to the bucket, and scored 65-65 with 1:30 left, Stansbury ball. Let's see here. Dallin, he had an open 3, passed up on it, passed up another open 3. Ethan Miller for 3 up top, no good. Offensive rebound for Robbins. He's going up with it. Misses the layup, and now another offensive rebound. This Robbins kid is really, really playing hard, and then he turns it over under the basket. Fast break now for Jordan. This Warnick kid can ball. He's going to the basket. 3-ball from the corner for Jordan, and good. Jordan is up 68-65 with 58 seconds left.
Yeah, Warnick's no scrub. I'm pretty sure he's one of their top scorers from last year as well.
He is. He's been their leading scorer probably for the past 2 years. That's just brutal, man. You get a kid that makes 2 great plays under the basket, you got to know to pull it back out and waste some clock. So now we got Stansbury down 3 with 52 seconds left in overtime. This is a game that Stansbury, you see those ESPN statistics on win percentage at points of the game. I bet Stansbury had over a 90% win chance at the end of regulation, and then probably a plus 75% win chance with about 1.5 minutes left, up by 2 possessions.
Maybe.
Here we go. We got Coach Dastrup that's drawn up a play on the sideline, though. If I know anything about Coach Dastrup, is he knows his X's and O's. He will draw up a really good play. Just depends on how well this Stansbury team is going to execute. But it's a full timeout. Players are sitting on the bench. Coach Talon Robertson's drawn up a play. I do know that Coach Robertson for Jordan might throw out a different defense. They love to go man and switch everything. I do know that out of a timeout, sometimes it's a good idea for a coach to switch to a zone or maybe even throw a 3/4 court or half court trap right here just to throw off a different look. On the other end of that, though, sometimes it's good just to stay in what you do and really play lax defense, because you can give up a three here, but you cannot give up an easy basket quick into the shot clock where you have to get a shot up on the other end, right? If it's under 35 seconds, they can get it and hold it. But at this point, Stansbury's got 28 on the shot clock, 52 in regulation, or I should say overtime. You really should probably just sit back into a lax, switch everything man. But I went 3 and 20 last year, so take that for what you can.
Uh, no, I
All
mean,
right, looks like Jordan's going 2-3. Stansbury's got the ball under the basket, so I would imagine Stansbury's there in their box set, right? Oh, Ethan Miller. Wow, threw it off the kid's back, got a layup, down one. Now they're playing full court man.
nice.
Full court man. The ball's up to Warnick. Warnick's going to try and do it himself, man. No, he kicks over to number 15 on the wing. They're just wasting clock, wide open. Layup for Jordan, and he smoked it. All right, now we got Stansbury ball here. You need to get the ball up, Robbins, to a guard. I can see Coach Dastrup saying, get the ball to a guard. All right, Stansbury down one. No timeouts left for the Stallions. 23 seconds left. There's no shot clock. Looks like they're going to let the clock milk itself out for a little bit. Now we got an ISO with Dallin. We have three guys on the right wing. Dallin with the ball on the left. This is what they call head tap. Dallin, they're switching the screens, and a turnover by the Stallions. 7 seconds left, and it's going to be Jordan ball with 1 point lead.
Ooh. Jordan's on top?
Jordan's on top. 7
oh,
seconds.
Man, that's tough.
All right.
Here comes a foul.
I would imagine Jordan's going to take a timeout. Timeout Jordan. Timeout length. Full. Yeah. So this is what we talk about, man. These big drag out here.
Yeah, no. 1 minute's 15, easy. Warnick, he averaged 13 and a half points per game last year. So, yeah, he's definitely 71 three-pointers on the season. It doesn't even look like anybody else on the team was close. The next closest was 20. 37 assists, 31 steals. He averaged a block and a half a game, roughly. 138 rebounds. So, yeah, no, he's definitely their top dog.
Man, this is a game that Stansbury needs to win. It's still not over by any means, but you hate to see a lead like that get dropped.
Well, I mean, nonetheless, still impressive. I mean, because I know when you and I started talking for this show, I mean, they didn't look like they were playing so hot. So, for them to even be in this situation, I think is a very positive thing for this team right now.
For sure, absolutely. I just know Coach Dastrup, there's no moral victories for the Stallions. They want to win no matter who they're playing.
Well, maybe they shouldn't fight then.
I know, right?
That's my jab at Porter.
I know, right? Yeah, that's, to be honest, I wish that there were repercussions from the officials from that game, because they did a very poor job of managing emotions, managing the game. Like, it's the officials' job to put that fire out, and they just increase that fire. I don't know if that's the case, but I would assume there were repercussions for those officials for the way that they officiated that playoff game. It was not okay. All right, Jordan with the ball side out, gets it into the corner. Ethan Miller fouls immediately, 5.9 seconds on the clock. So I would imagine Coach Dastrup has drawn up a full court play. And if I know anything about Coach Dastrup, it might be that Valpo play where you have a guy streak from half court and have two wing crossers to get a handoff so that you can get your momentum headed towards the basket. But we have 2 free throws here from Jordan. First free throw for number 5 is up and out. So the best they can do is be up by 2. I'd love to see a Stallions 3 at the buzzer to win this ball game. So I would imagine Coach Dastrup, he's a very good coach. I would imagine he's already written up a play right now for Stansbury, make or miss. But you really kind of at this point hope that it goes in so that you aren't scrambling. Okay, second free throw down. Okay, Robbins passes the ball in quickly to Ethan Miller. Ethan Miller dribbles the ball. All right, and to the rim, Ethan Miller misses the layup. Stansbury falls to Jordan by 2.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
Yeah, it is.
Well, hey, I mean, listen, we were unsure what it might look like anyways with 2 of their star players being out. So a heck of a game for those young men, it sounds like. And it literally sounds like, because I can't see anything. I'm just listening to what you're saying. So a heck of a game for those young men for sure. Tough way to lose it, but way to dig in there and fight back, because like I said at the beginning of this, didn't sound like they were playing so hot. So huge shout out to them. Yeah, I mean, just build off that, man. Just build off that. It's one game. It's one game. It ain't gonna be the death of anything unless you let it be. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that's all we got, right?
that's all we got, man. We covered both the games. Heck, we just basically did the recap for these games. So,
I know, right?
I mean, we don't have any of the stats, obviously. I'm definitely curious to see what the stats are for the Tooele ladies. That game was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. So I'm definitely curious about that. But nonetheless, Tooele ladies win it at home. Stansbury drops on the road to Jordan in a close one, overtime. So it is what it is. Well, you got anything else, man?
No, I'm happy. I'm excited to cover this, cover some sports around here. So we'll continue to do it. We'd love for you guys to interact with us. Let us know what you think, and let's keep moving forward.
For sure, man. All right, well, we'll get out of here because I'm supposed to get up at 3:30 in the morning. So supposed to is the key word. Don't know that that's going to happen. All right, everybody, have a great night. Thank you for listening to USB. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, as always, please be safe. Please take care of yourselves. Please take care of each other. And